Hey, can you see me?
I can see you. This is much better.
Very cool.
Well, nice to meet you, Howie.
Nice to meet you too. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. You are on tour, of course. So you are at a venue, or where are you right now?
I'm actually in our one of the dressing rooms here at the venue. We're in St. Louis.
Very,
Get
very, very
a
cool.
sneak peek. This is actually
Oh,
the extra dressing room.
it
The
looks
one that,
spacious.
yeah, the one that we use for the families.
Well, I'm very excited to be talking about your solo record.
Coming out in November. It's called Back to Me. And actually, right now, people can go to my website, howied.com, to do pre-orders. We're putting together packages and a bunch of different like little kind of like things that they can get involved in with me. And like I say, the single's out right now on iTunes called 100, and it's been doing really well. I'm very very happy.
Yeah, this must be really fulfilling for you. After all of your success with the Backstreet Boys and your other ventures, why did you feel the urge and sort of, the need and sort of why did you want to put out a solo record now?
Well, each of us, since the beginning of the group, all came from individual solo backgrounds, and we always had the intention when we started to give each other the space when the timing's right for each of us to branch off and do solo projects. It just so happened for me now, I finally was able to put my record together that I felt, the timing was right, this place that I'm at in my life it was right, my career, the point, the fans were asking a lot for it as well, so it just felt right finally to come out. So I'm excited to be stepping outside of the box, doing this new project that I have and this new journey in my life, and it's a great place right now in my life.
What are some of the people that you worked with, some of the writers and producers, and what was the sound that you were going for?
Well, I was very fortunate and very lucky to get a chance to work with a lot of great writers and producers. Besides John Cicada, like I said, I worked with a guy named George Noriega who did a lot of Ricky Martin's. I think he did She Bangs. He did some stuff with Desmond Childs, who worked a lot on Ricky Martin's record. I also worked with a guy named Wayne Rodriguez, who did Natasha Bedingfield's Unwritten. I worked with a lot of great European producers, American producers. I actually even wrote a song with Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys. That was going to be, we were trying to make it up for the last Backstreet Boys record, but it just didn't fit, but it fit really well for my record. So at the time when I started really getting into it about a year and a half ago, I was really like in this headspace of just, I had a lot of positive energy around me, a lot of, things going on in life. And so it felt really like the natural thing with me going, like to make it more of an up-tempo based album.
What was it like to be working on this project by yourself? I mean, you've been such a vital part and component of the Backstreet Boys for almost 20 years. I mean, these guys are your family. You're around them all the time. You tour together. You've recorded all of these massive hits together. So what was it like to do this on your own?
It was definitely a challenge, a journey. I mean, I've always written music for the past over 12 years for not only for Backstreet Boys but for other artists, Mandy Moore, Casey and JoJo, believe it or not, Luis Fonsi, a bunch of other artists out there. So the process of writing songs and doing demos was not much different than what I was doing right now with recording my own record. The only difference is that I definitely had to zone in and kind of focus on what was exactly the sound that I wanted for people to put me attached to. Because I think sometimes coming out with a record, and that's why I took my time in making it. It's a first impression, and sometimes if you don't come out with the right first record, you may not have a second record to come out with. So for me, it was definitely a challenge of just making it the best that it could be, zoning in and knowing that if it's the cream will rise to the top. I do a lot of songs extra, just like Backstreet Boys. We record a lot of extra abundant amounts of songs, and then just kind of like let the ones that are the best kind of just rise to the top. And I was lucky enough to have 14 tracks that we were able to put together. But it was actually really interesting going into the studio, recording by myself all the backgrounds and the harmonies and all the vocals, because with Backstreet Boys, each of us, we're like 25% of the group. So, when I go in there to record for Backstreet, I may be just on the bridge. I may do all the harmonies and stuff like that, but when it comes to lead-wise, I may just be on the bridge or maybe on part of the verse.
Yeah.
So I recorded everything from top all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, that's hard work.
Yeah. No, it's not so much that it's hard work of just recording it. It's more so the hard work of making sure everything just sounds meticulous. You know, everything sounds right. That especially for me, making sure that people didn't want to hear. Well, why aren't why isn't AJ and Nick and Brian on that song? We enjoy just hearing actually Howie sing the whole song from top to bottom. I mean, it's I love being a part of the Backstreet Boys, and I will always be a Backstreet Boy for the rest of my life. But there is a side for each of us that likes to have that feeling of doing something on their own. I think I'm allowed to express more of my individuality in this record of who I am. With Backstreet Boys, it's kind of like it's a combined effort. So sometimes songs may not be exactly what I feel, is my particular taste, but what sometimes is best for the group. It's quite funny because the song 100, it was the first song out of the box, and sometimes with my guys, we all we joke with each other, we play around, and sometimes the guys be going 100 kisses, girl, and they're always kind of playing around, but I could tell that's the thing that kept on ringing in their minds, and it kept on sticking in there. And it's the one song out of all of our songs that we done solo records that everybody keeps on singing that song. It's so catchy. It's almost like an infectious melody and an infectious lyrics that it made me feel like even though they were kind of indirectly and around about kind of teasing, I know it was because they liked it. The reason we have stuck together so long is that none of us wants to ever stifle each other. If in the past, when Nick wanted to come out with his first solo record, we were all very supportive of it. And then Brian came out with his solo record, AJ came following after that, and now finally me. And now Nick is actually coming out with his second solo record at the same time. And it's really cool. I mean, I think the fact that we're able to allow each other to spread our wings and to feel like you can still be an individual, makes us want to even work more together as a group.
As a songwriter, to you, what is the perfect pop song? What are you looking for when you write? I'm definitely
looking for something that when you feel it, it moves you. I think that's something where, in order to have something that's going to be catchy to people, you have to have a feeling in a song that moves you, that, touches you inside emotionally, takes you to another place, makes you go somewhere else in your mind. I think it also takes really catchy lyrics that want to stick in your mind, that repeat. Like I was saying, 100, how people keep on, even my own guys are repeating it all the time. 100 kisses, girl, straight to your heart, kind of thing.
Is there a specific emotion or, feeling that is really inspiring to you, that you always go to when you're writing?
For me, a lot of times I write in different ways. Sometimes when I'm writing with somebody who plays an instrument or knows how to program beats, a lot of times I'll just feel it and listen, see kind of where it takes me to. A lot of times I'll close my eyes and just let my mind drift off, and sometimes the music will move me to almost create my own movie in my own mind, like a music video, and that right there will a lot of times inspire me where to write the lyrics. Sometimes I'll write in different situations where I'll just be looking at a book and looking for some catchy phrase, or looking around me to see if I see something on the wall, or or looking out into if I have a place where I'm seeing the city and an amazing view, just looking to see if something catches my eye, and that right there sometimes will lead me into the lyrics. Actually, on my record, I have quite a few songs. One of them is called "Going, Going, Gone," and I was actually looking through a book that had a bunch of American phrases. And one of them is for sports, it's going, going, gone, which is in baseball. A lot of times when they hit a home run, they'll say going, going, gone, kind of thing. I don't know if you've ever heard that phrase over in Europe, but they do that here a lot in the States. And so I took that phrase and I made it into a relationship, telling this person, you better hold on to me, because if not, I'm going further. I'm going to be gone with this relationship in a matter of time.
Well, thank you very much for chatting. It was a great pleasure.
Same here. I'm glad it all worked out. Sorry about that earlier with the whole internet connection, but I'm glad we were able to make it work out.
Yeah, no problem at all. So good luck, and I'm sure we'll talk again sooner or later.
Definitely. Take care, buddy.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.